Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, there's one thing that we need to put to rest. Really, we need to put it to bed once and for all. And that's this business of responding to immigrants, Black immigrants, who come up to us and ask us, where are you from? And then you say, I'm from Alabama, or I'm from Mississippi, or I'm from Florida, wherever you're from. And they say, no, where are you really from? And then you need to say, well, where are you really from? Where were you from before the white men came to Africa and scattered you from pillar to post? You tell me where you were from, and then I'll work on where I'm from. And then to Caribbeans, they don't even know they came from Africa. Some of them don't even know that they were caught up in the transatlantic slave trade, just like we were. Now, Gina, what is her name? I think her name is Gina Brashear or Gina Brashear or somebody like that. And she said she went to school with people from Jamaica in England and that they didn't even know that they came from Africa. So that's why they start acting surprised when you tell them that they're from Africa too. Gina Yashir, her name is Yashir, is Nigerian, and her family migrated to London, and she went to school with Jamaicans in London, and she said that they didn't know that they came from Africa. They thought they were already in Jamaica. Well, I've got news for you. You were part of the transatlantic slave trade too. All you have to do is listen to some of these live streams, especially the ones by Black American men, and they will ask the caller, where are you from? And they get all flustered and frustrated and mad. What difference does it make? I want to talk about you. I don't want to talk about me. Where are you from? And that can be the most bitter and antagonistic question that person can ask them. But they want to run up to you and say, where are you from? They're just like they've got you on a witness stand. Where are you from? Where are you really from? I'm really from Alabama. And you don't know where you're from. You know where you ran from to flee to somebody else's country. And that's all you know. You don't know how old you are because you don't know the year, the month, or the date that you were born on. You didn't have a last name before the white people gave you one. And one live streamer told one of those callers, my grandmother is older than your country that a white woman named. So don't come to me asking me where I'm from until you can tell me where you're from. So, yes, this is the response that they should get. Where were you from before Europeans came and tossed entire ethnic groups from pillar to post? Where were you from? Because the truth is, most Africans today don't know their pre colonial origins either. When the colonizers came, they split over 170 ethnic groups across borders. They forced migrations, replaced their traditional leaders, banned languages, destroyed record keeping systems, disrupted initiation ceremonies, and erased naming traditions. So these Africans are playing a game on Black Americans because we have gone all over the world telling everybody we didn't know who we were. The Africans are not that smart, and the Caribbeans aren't either. They have this information because they got it from Black Americans. They got it from Black Americans going all over the world talking about what happened during slavery. They're more vested in our history than they are in their own, which is weird. So when someone asks a Black American, where are you really from? I'm thinking, do you know where you were from before the British, the French, the Portuguese, the Germans, and everybody else came and carved your continent up like a puzzle and shifted you around like they wanted to? And banned your languages. All these languages they have are made up languages. You have to listen to some of these black male content creators to tell you what happened to them. They think we don't know anything about what happened to them. That's why they play that gotcha, but you don't know where you're really from. Like this guy right here.
African Americans really do not embrace their culture, and it is very, very worrying. How can I ask you where you're from and you tell me the state? You don't even know what ethnicity you are. You don't even know what country you originally come from. That is mad to me.
Now here he is in somebody else's country. Somehow he or another, he's gotten his hands on a car. He's got on a do-rag. He's dressed like a black American, and he is more worried about black Americans and where black Americans are from and what black Americans identify as than he is about his own continent. They have so much trouble going on in Africa. They're underdeveloped. They don't have basic infrastructure. They don't have political stability, but he's worried about what black Americans call themselves and where black Americans are from. Now, you tell me, is something wrong with that? It seems to be a problem for some that black Americans are not lost Africans. We are a distinct ethnic group formed in America over 400 years. We have a shared culture, a shared identity, a shared lineage, and a shared history. We know exactly where we come from. We are Americans. That is our origin. We are not looking for a place to be from in Africa. And I don't know how many times we're going to have to say that. I think this young lady says it best.
One of the most annoying things that black people that come from a different country do to us black Americans is whenever they ask us, like, okay, where do you guys come from? Where do you come from? And I say, I'm just black American. They're like, oh, you don't know your culture. You don't know your roots. What? My parents are from America. My grandparents are from America. My great great grandparents are from America. My great 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 great, like that, it all goes back to America. So it's just like, I'm a black American. That's it. There's so many people that refuse to accept the fact that like black American culture is a culture. We are the culture, if you ask me. And they would still have the nerve to look in my face and just be like, oh, you don't know your culture. You don't know culture. You don't know anything. Whole time, my grandfather, who is very much alive, he grew up picking cotton in fucking Tennessee. I am a black American.
Stop explaining yourself to people who act like morons. We are Americans. They are Africans. They need to be proud of where they came from. They can't tell you anything about Africa. You ask them anything about Africa, and they don't tell you what. All they know is that there are 54 countries. They don't know anything about each other, and they're not interested in knowing anything about each other. They spend too much time worrying about black Americans. They don't know where they're from. They don't know how old they are because they don't know when they were born. What we need to do is to challenge them to tell us about them. Who are they? How long have they been there? How long did your family stay in the village that you were raised in, or that you were born in, or that your family was born in? And where were they before they came to that village? We need to ask them some questions. We don't always have to be on the spot, even in our homeland. We need to know what they have accomplished before they ran, before they fled to somebody else's country to take advantage of what somebody else worked for. Don't always let them ask all the questions. You ask some of the questions and see how far you get. I bet you don't get far because they don't know that much about themselves. They're too busy trying to find a way to run to some other place, to some other country where somebody else sacrificed to build that place. They're not interested in building up their country. They're interested in running away to somebody else's country to tell the people in the country that they ran to how great they are, how smart they are, how hard they work. How about you work hard where you came from? How about you work hard in your own homeland? And then let us find out about it, about what you produce in your homeland, not what you tell us. How about that? Now, I already know that Black Americans are not that interested in them. Black Americans don't care where they came from. Black Americans don't care what their identity is. We were trying to be nice, but we have been too nice. Now it's time for us to protect ourselves and protect our peace from this idiocy. Am I right about it? Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video and have a good day.